Hello once again and welcome to My Little Pony What Works. Today we're looking at too many Pinkie Pies, so let's get started.
Try again, Twy. You can do it.
Now, when I first read the synopsis to this episode, there were two things running through my mind. One was the infamous Too Much Pink Energy line from Power Rangers. The other was...
Oh, no. There's not enough Ritalin in the world to handle 5 of you.
Yeah, needless to say, this episode would be borderline insane. So, what's the synopsis? Well, while Pinkie Pie loves spending time with her best friends, she has trouble choosing which friend to hang out with. Time is always conflicting with her activities, and she doesn't want to miss anything that could be potentially fun. As Twilight points out, you really can't be in two places at once. Or can you? Pinkie Pie remembers an old legend her Nana told her. Wait, I thought she called her grandmother Granny Pie. Small details. Anyway, Pinkie Pie remembers an old legend her Nana told her called the Mirror Pond. Or Mirror Pool, I don't know, they keep changing it throughout the episode. And the legend goes, if you stare into the water and say a certain rhyme...
And into her own reflection she stared, yearning for one whose reflection she shared, and solemnly swear not to be scared at the prospect of being doubly married.
Like so, you can duplicate yourself.
Wow,
However, Pinkie Pie makes one too many clones, and, well, Ponyville now has a giant pink nightmare on their hooves. No, not that giant pink nightmare! Anyway, the story does flow naturally on its own in a simple 3-act structure that is easy to follow. Although I do admit we do get a visit from the plot convenience fairy when Spike finds the Mirror Pond book. It is thankfully relatively minor. One thing I do admire is the science of cloning is well reflected in this episode. Get it? Reflected, mirror. Yeah. Anyway, the Pinkie clones all have weaker mindsets than the original. As usually goes, cloning tends to create similar or weaker copies of DNA than the original. Which brings us into character development. Pinkie Pie in the 2 Dave Polsky episodes previous seemed to be either an idiot that doesn't pay attention to her natural surroundings, or made her quite irritating. Not the case here. In this case, Polsky finally sees Pinkie Pie as a complex and 3-dimensional character. She isn't a one-note joke all about fun. That's the clone's job. She can think on her own, as proven when she gave Twilight a brilliant suggestion to test the other Pinkie Pies to see which one is the real one. The only downside is the rest of the main 6, for some reason, can't tell which is the real Pinkie Pie.
But whoever wants to stay the most, that must be the real Pinkie.
This season's episodes in terms of animation are vastly improving. The 2-parter revealed the improvement in camera movement. This episode shows improvement in facial expressions. Looking at season 1 episode, the best we saw in the facial expression department probably was Fluttershy's rage face. Facial expressions are plentiful here and always fun to watch. The other thing I noticed was the clone animations were some of Pinkie Pie's old movements from the previous 2 seasons. I guess DHX keeps the animation vectors to use as a template for other ponies to use. The music is... just there. Nothing really stood out in the music department, so yeah, let's move on to entertainment. Since when has a Pinkie Pie episode never been entertaining? This episode is comedy gold, especially in the facial expression department. The best scene, hands down, is when Pinkie Pie is talking to her clone.
Fluttershy. Yeah, her. She offered something else fun for me to do. A picnic with cute little animals. How could you say no to that? That's what I'm saying. Then I would have missed the super fun thing with applesauce. Applejack. No, I didn't do anything fun at all.
I don't think I even need to talk about investment because if you are glued to the comedy, you are completely invested. The moral of this episode is simple but effective. While it is nice to have fun with your friends, sometimes you'll have to choose between them. Unlike other stories where it's the friends fighting over the one friend, like in Ticketmaster, the one put on the spot is afraid of disappointing everyone, even though the friends would be completely fine with it. It connects well with the story it's trying to convey. Alright, let's recap. The story does flow naturally, Pinkie Pie is recognized as a 3-dimensional character, the animation is genuinely impressive in the facial expression department, music-wise, nothing really stands out, it's incredibly entertaining, and the moral fits well with the story. Overall, I give Too Many Pinkie Pies 3.5 stars out of 4. Next time, I'll talk about One Bad Apple.